What do you do when you feel like you're the only one trying to fix your marriage? You're the one reading the books, watching the videos, trying to change, and your spouse in the meantime doesn't seem interested at all, doesn't seem to care one bit. So the question becomes, can a marriage between two people actually improve if only one person is trying? Here's the big misunderstanding. A lot of people believe it only works if both people in the marriage are working on it. And yes, in an ideal world, that's true. We would all love that more. Things move faster, they feel easier, they are more balanced. Obviously, a heavy thing is easier lifted if two people are on the job. But here's what I want you to understand. Your marriage can still change, and it will still change even if only one of you changes, if only one of you is working on it. I think of this like a dance. If one person changes the steps or changes the rhythm or stops dancing altogether or starts playing jazz instead of tango, right? The entire dance has to shift. There is no way around it. The dynamic cannot stay the same. So no, it's not ideal to be the only one trying, the only one doing the work, but it's also not hopeless. Before we talk about what to do, we need to talk about what this probably feels like for you, because there's grief here, as in real sadness. Why am I the only one who sees this? Why don't they see value in this? Why don't they want to fight for me? Why don't they want to fight for us? That's really heartbreaking, and it's lonely. Lonely as all get out. And that matters, and it matters a lot. So don't skip over that part. Sit with it, take some time with it, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that it's real, that the pain is there. Because if you don't, everything you do next will come from resentment instead of intention. And for any of this work to be meaningful and successful, we don't want to do that. We don't want to start like that. All right, on to the next part. At some point, you have to decide, am I going to do this even if they are not doing it, even if they are not showing up, if they're not ready? Not forever, not blindly, but in an intentional way. You get to decide how long you're willing to invest, how much time you're going to give it, how much effort you're willing to give, what this process looks like for you. But here's the shift. I am not doing this because they are. I am doing this because it matters to me. It's important to me. It's almost as if to say, I want to do this regardless. And that alone will change where you end up. If you're the only one working on the marriage, then your work starts here. And you can take a guess where that might be. It starts with you. It's you asking the question, how am I showing up? This is you needing to ask yourself this. How have I contributed to this situation? Where have I been dismissive, absent, or reactive? How have my words, my tone, my attitude, my actions affected my spouse? And then own it. But not in a way where you're trying to get something in return, but because it's yours to own. You can go to your spouse and say, hey, I've been thinking about this, I've given it a lot of thought, and I've come to realize that there are things that I haven't done well in this marriage, in this relationship of ours, and I want to change that. No expectation, no scorecard in hand, just growth on your own part. That's it. All right, this next part is really important because the moment that you start thinking, I will do this if they do that, I'll follow if they start, I'm willing to do X if they do Y first, all that's going to do is get you stuck. Real growth in a marriage, especially in the beginning, looks like this instead. Giving without immediate return. And yes, that's hard. Ask me how I know. But it's also powerful because change, consistent change, that gets noticed. There's no way around that. Maybe not right away, but over time, it's almost impossible to ignore. So you'll be required to take the first step regardless of what they're doing in response. And if you've been this person, if you are the one that's trying to fix this marriage of yours, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you need to keep doing it anyway. Think of this like planting seeds. You don't plant something and expect a harvest the next day. I mean, it would be lovely. Amazon ruined us all. Am I right or am I right? You plant something, you show up consistently, you water it, you tend to it, you give it time, you give it some sun, all the things. And the same is true here. When you, as the wife, as the husband, all of a sudden speak differently, show up with more patience, act with more kindness, remember the thing they asked you to do without having to be reminded 5 times. Take things off their plate, respond instead of react, pay attention and go the extra mile even. When you do that, you are planting something new. And over time, it changes the environment of your marriage. It can't help but do that. Go back and screenshot the list so that you have something to go back to when you're at a loss 2 weeks from now. Now, let's say your marriage has been struggling for years. On some level, you and I both know this, but just as a reminder, you cannot expect change in 1 week or even in 1 month. Trust is rebuilt through consistency over time. Grand gestures, while lovely, they will not do the trick. It's also not that 1 3-hour conversation. I keep telling my couples the same thing. It's repeated, steady effort over time where you don't change the course and you keep plowing forward. Now, this is the question that everyone eventually asks. What if I do all of this? What if I put in all of this work and they still don't join me? They still don't want to change. And here's the reality. 2 things are happening at the very same time. Number 1, if that's the case, you are single-handedly creating the possibility for your marriage to shift. And that's phenomenal. That's something to be proud about. The second thing is you are becoming a better spouse, a better partner, regardless of the outcome. And even in the hardest of situations, positive change in one person in a marriage will often disrupt the entire dynamic for the better. But you don't actually know how this ends until you've done the work, until you've tried. So no matter what happens, your effort is not wasted, because no matter what, you are learning to communicate better. You are becoming more self-aware. You are showing up with more intention. And guess what? All of those things, they change you. They change how you will experience relationships for the better, for good. Period. Full stop. So if you feel like you're the only one trying, I need you to hear this. You're not powerless. You have more influence over your marriage than you think. Not control. Don't hear me saying that, but influence. And sometimes real change starts with just one person in a marriage deciding, I am going to do this differently no matter what. And if you're sitting here thinking, it's not just that I'm the only one trying or doing the work, it's that I can't even reach them because they're so distracted. They're always on their phone or just emotionally unavailable. That's a different layer of this. And I walk you exactly through how to handle that in this video right here. Go watch that next. I'll see you in there.